me ask you a question. What is the most valuable company in the world as of today? If you think about this or have a discussion with a friend about it, some might say that Apple is the most valuable. Others would say Microsoft, and some would say Saudi Aramco. The thing is, it always changes on daily basis based on the stock pricing. So if Apple decreases their stock pricing or the stock value of it decreases by 10%, then it's going to drop in the rankings so low. So let's discuss the top 6 companies in terms of market cap or valuation so that you would have an interesting discussion later on. First up is, which is not surprising, Apple. And you know what they do. Interestingly, more than 50% of the revenue is from the iPhone sales. So until this moment, they should thank Steve Jobs for what he did. Of course, Tim Cook took the company to a whole new level, but the fact that iPhone still represents a very big chunk of the company's revenue shows that the company is still reliant on this product. They just released the Apple Vision Pro and it is so cool, seriously. But if you don't have an Apple computer, then you probably have a Microsoft computer, and that's why they are in the second place in terms of valuation. It's a very old company, and Bill Gates did quite a good job in growing it over the years, and now they're just everywhere. You see Windows everywhere, but interestingly, what is mostly responsible of their revenue is Office products. You use Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, I'm sure you do, and some other cloud services like OneDrive and other cloud services like Microsoft Azure. So these companies, or this part of the company, represents the most of its revenue. Then there is Saudi Aramco, which if you had to guess what Saudi Aramco does, you'll probably get it right. They work on oil manufacturing in Saudi Arabia. They're like the Saudi oil company of Saudi. It's the biggest thing there. So their valuation went very high when they launched their IPO. That was a few years ago. And it has been dropping ever since then. And it's highly reliant on the prices of oil. So this puts it right now in the 3rd place, actually. But what if you're not a computer person and you're more into your phone? You're just checking your phone all the time. And you don't have an iPhone, so you probably have an Android. And Android is owned by Google, which is the 4th largest company in the world in terms of market cap. Now, Google is everywhere in the world. You see it in Google search, and it's responsible for, if I just put statistics around its search, it's just gonna blow your mind. But what's mostly responsible of its revenue is advertisements. The ads you see on YouTube when you're looking at this video or any other videos that just pop in the middle, this is what makes more than 50%, a lot more than 50% actually, of the revenue of Google as of this moment. And that's why they freaked out a little bit when TikTok was coming after YouTube, and they always said it's a competition. People are checking TikTok more than YouTube, which is a problem because they were going after their main source of income. All right, so you decide to get a new Android phone instead of the iPhone. I don't know why you would decide that, but if you do decide that, then you're probably gonna buy it through Amazon, which is the 5th largest company in the world. You see, it all makes sense. They all complete each other. Now, Amazon, most of the revenue of Amazon comes from their sales, their online sales and retail, as well as third-party sellers. But interestingly, also a small but vital chunk of their revenue comes from AWS or their cloud services. In terms of profitability, it is largely because of AWS. So AWS did result in a huge chunk of profitability compared to like the online sales of the market. So that stands at number 5 of the most valuable companies in the world. Finally, which is very, very recent in the list, if I had recorded this video a month ago, it wouldn't have been the same. But this new addition to the company is the result of everything you've been hearing around the internet about ChatGPT and everything around that, which is Nvidia. Now, Nvidia has risen because of artificial intelligence. And they are primarily working in that area. Their research and their hardware is all around artificial intelligence. So it kind of makes sense when you say that the AI world is going to grow or it's booming, everyone's using ChatGPT, that Nvidia also will grow. Investors knew that, and that's why their stock price rose, I think 30% or 25%, a huge percent just recently, and that puts it in the 6th most valuable company in the world. And I assume it's going to keep on climbing as long as AI becomes more valuable in our world. So that was the 6 most valuable companies, public companies in the world. I hope this conversation benefited you a bit for your next conversation with your friends. Aside from that, have a wonderful and fantastic day.